What's up, guys? All right, so today we're gonna be talking about how to play as Melusi. We're gonna be talking about a loadout, how to place our gadget, how to play around our gadget, and your overall role as Melusi. So let's get to it. All right, Melusi's loadout is pretty straightforward. I mean, you have the Banshee, obviously, and then you have the MP5. The MP5 is an amazing gun at long range and close range. It is a little bit of a BB shooter with a decent fire rate, though. So you are gonna need to get some headshots with this to really take people down. And then you also have the shotgun, which Super 90, I mean, it's an okay shotgun, but most of the time you're probably gonna be leaning towards the MP5. And then you have pistol with a sight and a laser that you cannot take off, I believe. Oh no, you can take it off. Well, that's on me. You can't take the laser off. And then you have a bulletproof camera and an impact. So when it comes to impacts and bulletproof is nice in certain situations, like let's say cafe. You can place down like camera at heaven, so have basic overwatch of the entire top floor. And then impacts, you can use the impact trick or to make quick rotates. We'll be going over both functions later on, so let's keep going. So when we're talking about Melusi, when you place your gadget down, you're going to want to use your gadget like it's barbed wire. Here you're going to see me place it on top of the map table in Villa. See the radius will, anybody that gets in that radius, when they walk into that radius, will be slowed down like they're moving through barbed wire. So basically won't be able to sprint. They're going to be really slow, and it's going to make a very loud sound, which I'll demonstrate later as they go through. So some default spots, and place them for Villa. So for the study walk-in, then I'll place one for the main walk-up. This is a good spot to have your Banshees because it will force them to, if you play the main staircase, they will have to walk the staircase into a Banshee. They'll walk through the study door into a Banshee, or if they just push into sight on your teammates, they also hit a Banshee. There's gonna be another blind spot coming from 90, but you will be able to play top main and kind of hold that with your guns. So you have all entries into and around this site just as one operator. This is why personally I love Melusi, because she prevents the crouch walking meta that is so strong, especially in the lower elo as well as the higher elo. She is an amazing operator to pick the vast majority of the time. So let's go to a instance where you can hear the gadget go off. So that sound right there, you can hear someone walk into study. It gives a very loud sound of just that like kind of echoey sound. So you know that someone walked into study. So now I know that someone is in. So when the Melusi Banshee device activates, they will be able to shoot it with the part that's exposed to destroy it instantly. So they will be able to deal with it very quickly. But if you're playing around your Banshees, it will give you an instance where they're not going to be looking at you. They're going to be looking at the Banshee device. And if they are looking at you, they'll be slow and easy to pick up. All right, now we're going to go over two instances of the setup that you guys saw and how I played around the Banshees. So I'm gonna turn down the volume so you guys I can kind of commentate as it's going along. So I'm holding down the staircase, which is a main choke point for the attackers to get through. They have to go through study or walk up the main staircase. I'm holding down this main staircase so they can't walk up. They get in through study, which I know because they trigger the Banshee, they shoot the Banshee. So I know that Banshee is destroyed now, so they have full access to study. So I'm trying to hold them back as much as I possibly can, not letting them take the control of the main staircase, while making sure my team knows that they are in the study room. I'm just holding on the main staircase so they can't get into the swing to hit the bar door. I'm not going to leave my position because I want the enemy to stay back. I'm playing aggressive, keeping my crosshair up. Melusi is a 3-speed operator, so don't be afraid of swinging with your crosshair up. You are fast. Think of yourself as a defensive Ash. After you are set up, do not be afraid to take aggressive firefights. You have a decent gun and you are fast and quick. I'm holding pixels, waiting to get more intel. I see one go through, keep my crosshair up, take one out, and I take out the other one. So, nothing too crazy there. Play off your Banshees, play off your intel, and swing. There's another clip in this exact same position with the same setup, the exact round after. So I'm holding down the main staircase. Did I not clone? I know, because that Banshee is still up, still good to go. They walk in, light me up, they take out the Banshee, but I get the kill. So now I'm in a precarious situation. I get shot from the Nomad here. And what do? I can retreat, fall back, or play aggressive and have confidence in your gun ability. Like nothing here, I'm doing anything too crazy. I'm keeping my crosshair at head height when they're going to swing over. When we take out the Nomad. Always pre-fire at where the heads are going to be. Like, look, you're going to see me just pre-fire at the door frame over and over at head height. And we get another headshot. Did I really even see that guy? Barely, not really. But my crosshair is at head height, which you will learn after patterns and repetition. You'll get the hang of it. So, playing off your Banshees, you have no utility, you have nothing to be afraid of. After you place it all down, you're good to go. Swing and be confident, and you will win. Here we're going to break down how to use your impact grenades effectively, and basically another role as Melusi is the roam ability. So yeah, you place your Banshees down and you're going to set up your sight, like, you know, whatever. But what is your actual role as Melusi? So one of those roles is going to be as a roamer. You're going to have your utility on site, and then you're going to run off and do your thing. I like to do that a lot with impacts to give me a lot of flexibility on how I'm going to engage the enemy. So I'm going to show this around, and we're going to talk about it as we go. So I hear they jump into scuba. They destroy my Banshee, and yes, like the Banshee is not very well protected, but it does let my team and myself know that they have eyes on the Banshee. So we know that they're at the scuba window. Take one out. And I hear multiple at the scuba. So instead, I can take a gunfight, which they already saw me here. One thing I like to do as Melusi, guerrilla tactics. So instead of just taking a raw gunfight there, I go above. Take him out from above. Impacts give you a lot of power to reposition and take a firefight that you choose to. It opens up a line of sight that will give you the advantage against an attacker. And a lot of times, attackers get a little scared. When they see a hole like this, they're going to get really scared of peeking that hole again or going through that scuba door because they think that you're up here, so they're going to have to come upstairs and clear it, and it's going to waste a lot of their time. And you're already gone. You're in Narnia. You're already out. So, impacts, a lot of people will, lower elo, will throw impacts at opponents to hurt them and damage them. Don't do that. Unless you know they're like really hurt and it might kill them, they're right around the corner, then maybe. But use it for line of sight openings on the fly, either to make a rotate at the start of the round or on the fly, which I personally love to do because God, it works so well. So we're gonna go over a couple site setups as Melusi and how to place your Banshees down. So been in the basement site, I'm gonna place one for the door, so we're gonna know when they physically walk into the site, because a lot of people will push from the trench door as well as there. And then I'm gonna have two on the staircases. I personally love to place Banshees on staircases, so I know when they're physically walking down, and if they are walking down into the Banshees, you will be able to react to it. So see the radius of the Banshee. Personally, I like to have Banshees set in a position that they will hit the Banshee before they can have an angle on an enemy, on a teammate. So right when you get here, the Banshee will go off, giving a loud sound to your team that if anyone's playing here, they will be able to swing off the Banshee and pick up a kill. If they don't, and they can destroy the Banshee, which is not very hard to do, at least your teammate knows, hey, someone's on the main staircase. So they can't sneak up to you guys. Think of Banshee devices like ultra high powered barbed wire. They're very easy to destroy and deal with, but it is very hard to just completely ignore them. They'll have to be shot. You have to use an explosive device, or you have to physically trigger it and then shoot it. And it's not very fun for attackers to have to deal with. And if you place them out of line of sight, like the one we have back here, when they walk in this door, they are going to be looking for the enemies coming in. And the second they get to here, the Banshee's going to go off. They have to physically turn around and shoot it and then turn back to face the enemies. That gets a lot of people killed. So most of the time they'll use explosives or utility to destroy it so they can deal with it prior to physically walking through the door. But you'll know they're there. All right, we're gonna do another site. So here, Cafe holding the top site, place this so when they drop red, you'll be able to hear them come in. I'm gonna place one under the skylight, so if they jump over the skylight and rush through, or they just rush through this area, they'll be slow and you'll be able to deal with them. And I'm gonna have another for the white staircase walk up. So like I said, no one can rat their way up. I personally like to use my Banshees to make sure that no one can rat their way up, so your team is always in the know. And here's one of the instances of the bulletproof camera that I personally like to do. I love to do this one. I'm gonna show what it does. So bulletproof cams are exceptional for things like this. They are going to be able to shoot it from the side, but for them to shoot it from the side, they are going to have to get a fairly nasty angle, which is going to have to shoot it like that, like so. So here you get an overview of people coming up brown. You can see some guys at pillar, and you can see when they're at default plan or walking around. So here you can just come over, and I'm not sure why I loaded out. Oh, it's just a lot higher. Whoopsie. So yeah, you can shoot it. So an enemy will come through, and they'll be like, okay. We'll be able to deal with it, but that will give you the intel that someone is there. And if you have a teammate, or like if you see them trying to shoot it, obviously you can swing out, take shots at them. That is just a bulletproof camera. It gives you intel. And, yeah, so I mean, because think about rounds like this, a lot of times you'll have people with shotguns, etc. Your impacts aren't going to do much good. So really think between the option of the impact and the bulletproof cam. Will the bulletproof cam give you actual utility that you will be able to use to secure more intel and maybe save a round? Or do you need your impacts to either deny an OSA shield or make rotations if you don't have teammates to make rotations for you? Most of the time you're going to be running impacts, but there are going to be seldom times where you will actually bring the bulletproof camera. All right, set up into the site. Coastline Hookah. Placing Melusi here, so we know when they walk in from Aqua for the default plant. We're gonna be placing so there's a couple spots you can place this. You can place it for the VIP hallway, so you know when they're walking down this VIP hallway. I personally don't enjoy that one because I like to have one here, which I don't have to have this one here. As long as you have a barbed wire, that's kind of fine. I usually like reinforce this wall and then play gun up over here. And then you will also place a Banshee for the cool vibe walk up. So again, key word, don't let them rat. And then impacts for rotates if you don't have anyone with a shotgun, and you're gonna be good to go. Site setup basically with just one operator. Everybody else, like even if you have nobody else to set up, you're good. Site is set up, they can't rush in. You are a one-person site, one-stop shop. You have everything set up, you're good to go. And MP5. So even if you're dead, your gadgets are still in place. You don't have to worry too much. So don't be afraid. All right. Holding dorms in Oregon. So one Melusi for the walk-in. This Banshee is exceptionally strong because a lot of times people will find themselves in a rock and a hard place at the trophy door. They'll have to walk in. If they don't destroy that Banshee earlier, they will have to trigger the Banshee and they'll have to turn around, shoot it, leaving their back entirely exposed to the rest of the site, which is an easy kill for you. One for the white walk-up. Like as we said, no rats. Don't let your rats kill your teammates. They are going to trigger this. People will know that they are on the white staircase. Yes, barbed wire can do this, but barbed wire is going to be a lot quieter. Banshees are going to be extremely loud. So you guys will know when they're coming up that staircase. You can't just walk through the Banshee and murder your entire team. No. No, no, no. Then here's another one I like to use. This one's a little bit out of style because not that many people push attic. So if you want, you can place one here. Or if the wall gets open and they're coming across, they'll have to deal with it. Or if they hop in the window, they'll hop into a Banshee. Or if you're not filling up to that one, you can do either a big window, because a lot of people like to go for the big window rush. It's a good spot too. This one's definitely not bad. I use this one for FPL, aka Fates Pro League, because that one gets a lot of use. And if you're in lower elo, this is honestly more than fine to do. Placing one out in the middle like so, because when they have to go for a default plant, they're going to open this wall and they're going to have to walk in, and they are going to have to deal with this Banshee, and it's going to mess with them a little bit. Like, yeah, they're going to see this, but they might think that that's the only Banshee in the room, so this one will work even better. So that's Oregon top floor. Now for Oregon bottom floor, we're going to do, because this is also a very important site, I'm placing one here for the freezer walkthrough, so people can't just walk into the site and basically kill everybody by this freezer door. And then two very important ones, again, prevent the rats from going through. One there, and you're gonna place one here to give this person that might be playing smoke shield or anyone who's holding elbow time to react. A lot of people will destroy this Banshee, but again, As long as it is destroying utility, you guys know, you guys hear the explosions, you know which way to look. Banshees, it doesn't matter if they get destroyed or not. It's to give you time to react to where the push is coming from. As long as the Banshee is giving you time to look the correct way or to give you a slight edge in a firefight, it's doing its job. All right, Clubhouse, top floor cash. So I like placing this Melusi because how many times have you guys died to someone jumping in this window and just running around clipping your entire team? This Banshee is really good, especially for the late round when they're like going through the wall, so they can't just run through. That Banshee will get a lot of miles, trust me. This Banshee, prevent the rats. I'm gonna keep saying this so it really drives it home. To stop the people ratting up the staircases, always place Banshee. Like, if you don't know where to place your Banshees, rule of thumb, place it on the staircase. And here's another that I like to use to help the guy at Raptors pull it down. All I place in this one, so place the person on Raptors is gonna get a little bit of a heads up that they are getting pressured from the bottom door, because let's tear this down. It'll only trigger when they're here. So it's going to be hard for them to even spot that Banshee. I mean, they'll spot it with a drone, but to shoot it, they'll have to shoot like this, and they'll be completely exposed to the guy on Rafters. And they won't be able to rush you because the radius will cover that. So you'll know they're coming up, and you're going to be able to fight and engage them. And hopefully you have the advantage because of that Banshee. So, ending points for Melusi. You are a one-stop shop to setting up his sites. You can make the rotations. You have a bulletproof cam if you like want to play a little bit more of an Overwatch role, and the Banshees are going to prevent them, the enemy, from rushing in and just executing your entire team. Is going to give your defenders some time to be able to deal and counter and formulate a defensive maneuver to whatever they're doing, the attackers. So, as Melusi, you are not confined to a certain role. You can play as an anchor, you can play as a roamer, you can play aggressive, you can play however you want. A lot of times when I'm Melusi, I'm going to set my device down and I'm going to go run around because you are a 3-speed operator. 3-speed operators tend to be decent roamers, especially with the impacts. I love running around and just impacting walls and running through them like a cannonball, which I'm sure you guys have seen already. So, all right, guys, I'm SenVale. This is my Melusi guide, so if you guys want more guides, make sure to leave that down in the comments what operator you would like to see next, and make sure to like, comment, and subscribe for more content. Till next time, guys. Peace out.